for him. So in terms of jungle, looks like both are going to hit level 6 relatively soon. Almost even in CS. Sion, of course, going towards tankiness, whereas Warwick going towards his Feral Flare Rush. Alright, so blue is not going to be given over to Victor. That is... It's not the end of the world for him by any means. I would argue that you really only need the third one, because that's when I really start wanting to scale up and fight. Alright, so here comes Sion, rushing in with his ult. Beautiful knock-up coming through. Victor was not quite in range for this earlier. Flashes forward, though. Q, auto, ignite, lends the kill. A little bit more awareness, just using the sound of the ult. Just step forward during that, and you would have been able to land that combo quite easily without having to flash. Overall, great team play there, and I would expect to see that coming through every time that Sion has that ult up. Alright, so back in bot lane. Level 6 just hit by blue side. Braum is level 6 here. As you can see, knockup goes through. A lot of poke going down. Jinx, I would have gone to rockets there and harassed from a higher range. Instead, it looks like she's trying to use her zap a little bit too much and not necessarily abusing the range and poke provided. Alright, so Nasus actually did get killed again here. Nasus tries to go quite heavy. Not going to quite work out for him, though. Exhaust comes through. Ignite... Sorry, not Exhaust. Ignite comes through. The Flash Q not able to land the kill from Sion. What I would like to see there... We're actually going to rewatch that one final time here. Okay, so... He is not standing in your pool. Q, auto, step back, step back. You see that Sion's coming. You don't need to face tank this, and you're wasting this armor shred and the extra DPS. So, just back out during this. You cannot just face tank him. If I was Nasus, I might have gone for the Flash Q earlier, so that you'd be in range, and then you could follow up with the E if you needed. And there's the kill. But basically that boiled down to Nasus standing and fighting rather than backing out throughout that. Alright, Bubble not landing this time. This is the massive pressure that Nami provides, and this is why I would say that she should be pretty much perma-pick, perma-banned right now. Her sustain, her poke, her engage, her disengage are all some of the best in the game. So when your character is accomplishing pretty much everything you would want from a support and outclassing everyone in those areas of gameplay, that's pretty huge. I would argue that Nami is the reason Sona is not played right now. Sona is just a poor man's Nami. Alright, so back in mid lane, only about 10 CS up on Victor. He has finished up his Source Boot, whereas the Chalice and 1 Amp Tome is finished on Ziggs. Alright, so Warwick is camping this. He is standing on a ward, though. Alright, so he's just going to wait for that to go through. Then you're just going to E across, boom, boom, boom. Still doesn't have blue buff, so that's why he's not necessarily taking Wraiths every spawn and not necessarily wanting to fight, unless he's able to just throw in the quick combo there. Alright, up in top lane. Again, Jack's just running away with his lane. Pretty much all just boiling down to how Nasus is positioning. He's shoving out too much. He needs to work on controlling the wave. Look up some YouTube guides on wave freezing, wave control. There are all sorts of different styles and methods of freezing the wave. And as a Nasus player, you need to be very comfortable with them. I would say the exact same is true of champions like Ryze. Any champion that just wants to sit in top lane and farm things out and becomes a monster as a result, you need to be a master of wave control, or you're going to have a really rough time, and that's what we're seeing from Nasus here. So Warwick used his ult actually. I want to go back and see what canceled this out. Alright, so he comes down in bot lane, loops around. Nami is here, has ult's right across. Okay, so she waited a little bit too long. Bubble goes through, Jinx was not in position. Varus disengage comes across. They're all grouping together rather than splitting out, so that snare is going to chain across them all, and they're going to be cancelled. We're going to watch that one more time. So here's what needs to happen. This is going through. And instead of waiting for the knockup, because you have plenty of time during the knockup to land the bubble, you wasted bubble. Jinx was not following through in time. She also did not use her ult, did not use her rockets, did not use chompers. So what I wanted to see is... Alright, so you see him coming through. Right when he enters the tri-bush, that's when you start your engage. Enter your engage right now. Nami ult, Jinx starts moving up, lands the traps behind, Nami follows up with bubble, Jinx ult can go across, or you can use rockets, doesn't really matter. And then Warwick comes in cleaning up. Because again, right now he'd be hit by a snare. Ult would have already been used. You would have still had exhaust. You would have still had Warwick ult. You may have still had bubble. And you would have the E to use on Warwick for the on-hit effect during his ult. A lot of things could have been done better in that. And then, worst case scenario, if you are getting ulted by a Varus, you need to be spreading apart. Alright, Son tries to come down, not going to amount to anything. We're going to take another quick look at top lane. Here's exactly what I was describing. You're just getting zoned out. You're not getting the farm that you need. You're letting... Yeah, if Jax wants to proxy this, that's perfectly fine. We are going to rewatch that fight down bot, don't worry. I'm pretty sure I know exactly what it was, though. A lot of poke going across. Oh, nice attempt there from Nami, but not needed. Jinx gets the kill. Back in mid lane, only, again, 10 CS advantage on Victor, so he is not taking Raze. Now that he has blue, though, I want to see him playing more aggressively. I want to see you wave clear, take Wraiths, wave clear, try and kill Ziggs, wave clear, try and take Raze. Do something to use this blue buff to influence the game at large. You see the Scion coming across, not able to land anything. There's the combo, though. That is a kill. Oh, you did not need to flash there. Warwick coming across, gonna land the kill. Very, very nice job. But yeah, you need to stand a little bit further back on Victor and make sure that you're not taking the damage from tower. I'll point out exactly where he needed to stop. You have your Ignite on, you queued, you drop the ult, now run away. He's already guaranteed dead. The Ignite is on, right? The ult is on. Instead of walking back in, instead of flashing, move your ult behind him so he has nowhere to run. The Ignite is ticking. You did not need to do this. So that's where I would have backed out. Oh, support fights. Yeah, you cannot be banned for unskilled player. That's a stress relief mechanism. Brett said in the past, those reports literally are thrown away. They don't do anything. It says right on it that it's not punishable, but they use it for feedback. Apparently they don't even use it for feedback anymore because they have so many metrics in place to track who is playing poorly. Again, Nasus, you're always pushed out. I want to see the wave permanently stuck right here. The wave for Nasus' side should always be in this circle right here. Never closer to your tower, never further away. If you can't accomplish that, and I don't mean to be rude here, but you should not be playing Nasus if you cannot permanently freeze the wave right in this circle. Because, well, that's your job. Alright, so Victor did lose his blue in that last little misplay. I want to see Dragon focused a little bit more. So tower goes down, they get the kill bot. Unfortunately, this is a little bit too far gone for purple team to do much bot. What I want to see is twofold. Number one, I want to see Victor abusing his advantage. He needs to wave clear, raise, wave clear, kill people, right? Just clearing this out, Ziggs has enough wave clear that you pushing and farming isn't actually doing a whole lot. You're going even on farm right now. So, either zone and kill Ziggs with that pressure, or push in, make Ziggs remain busy, and then take jungle, gank, take objectives, do something with that time that is going to help out bot lane, make them a little bit more relevant for late game. I really, really love this decision to take away the white here. Unfortunately, not able to take it. Victor comes across, gets hit by this snare. Beautiful Braum Q goes across. Ult comes across from Victor, and that is a kill onto Jinx. A little greedy, but I like the basic idea behind this. If you're going to do that, though, you want to place a ward right up in here. It covers, well, 5 paths. Here, 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 here. Oh, Sion's going top. Misses his ult. Nasus taken super low, uses his ult a little late after disengaging. Backs away from the stun. His Wither is just about to come up. Kill just barely goes through before Sion's taken down. Okay, so Sion's going to be pushing it. Not Sion. Bleh. Nasus is going to be pushing this in, trying to take as much advantage from it as he can. Alright, so not a whole lot going down here. We need to see a Warwick gang coming across. Let's see how this is executed here. They have vision. No one's following up. This is bad. Okay, so you want to dance back, actually. You don't want to get focused. Wait on the Nami engage. Nami engage goes across Jinx. You're still farming. You need to be in this fight. That's just going to barely connect. Warwick ult, make sure it does. Bubble at the very end of this. A little bit too far back. That's only going to hit Braum. Doesn't matter, though. You're going to get this kill. I just think this could have been executed a lot more smoothly. I want to see Jinx moving up at the start of fight. She needs to be a little bit more aware, and I want to see Nami making sure that her bubbles are landing across both. You launch the bubble right before the Warwick ult ends, so that you don't waste any CC, and you don't risk them being able to flash or reposition or do something to dodge out of it. Overall, good combo. You did a good thing in bot lane, but I think it could still be improved. Alright, Warwick going up, stealing away the white. Alright, so he runs across a ward. Are you going to be able to do anything here? You're getting caught out. Nasus is not here. Your stun just barely goes across, saving you from any return damage. Q goes across, E goes across, Nasus running in with as much damage as he can. Ult's a little late on Victor there, not sure if he had that up earlier. What I would like to see is, as soon as his stun went down, run back into it, back away, let Nasus come in behind. He can use his Wither, that sort of thing. You want to be in behind... I'll wait till this is finished. That is a very, very dead Victor. Going across with this. You wasted time on your W there instead of bursting back on. So let's rewatch that. I want to point out exactly what should have, or I would have liked to see happen. So when you see him coming in here, you need to ping it, make sure Nasus is coming down. I like the initial decision to back away towards Nasus, because, well, that's what you do. When you see that the stun is going to land, stop walking. Q, walk back into it if you have to. Use E before you get stunned, because it will come off cooldown. Ult is just about to come up. You have your Ignite ready. Rather than E-ing, he walks away. Now he E's. He still doesn't ult. Doesn't ignite, doesn't... Yeah, what you need to do is, instead of running away, re-engage. Re-engage during that, ult across, E across it, make sure you're using it before you get stunned, because the time while you're stunned is going to allow those cooldowns to come back up earlier. Next thing that I want to see here. Alright, so he's going back, he's going to get jumped on. Varus is coming up, you need to be aware of that. You have your E, you have your Q. E, Q, ignite. You would have killed him before the stun went off, or at the very least, provide a little bit more safety. You need to be confident in your ability to trade, and I think that could have gone so much better for him if he was just a little bit more confident in the amount of damage potential that he had. Alright, so we see Warwick coming across, lands onto Sion, Snare goes across, Jinx actually goes over to Nami. Very, very nice job. You need to kite away from this, make sure that you don't get taken too low, because as you can see, this is shredding you, so much health. There's the knock-up, just enough time. Warwick is now able to get his speed buff, and they're going to walk away. Alright, sorry, I was just answering some questions in chat. Sion going up, ult lands across, knock up, goes through. Oh, Sion walks away a little early, and sorry, Nasus walks away a little early. Sion then is able to re-engage, pick up the kill. Alright, so we're gonna leave it at that. Warwick ult goes across onto Victor. Nami ult comes across. Jinx zap did not quite go through. Ziggs ult connects. Jinx ult connects onto only Braum. I think Jinx could have stepped forward a little bit and landed a second rocket. If the rocket crit, it would have killed them. If not, you could have kept walking and possibly landed a second rocket, guaranteeing the kill. Alright, just sidestep the knock-up. Nami just poking away, picking up some free gold for herself. Warwick actually taking away his blue. Looks like it is going over to Ziggs. Good, good, good. That's what we want to see. Oop. Welcome back, Marabou. Alright, so to answer some questions in chat, a lot of people are going on and on about, oh, teammates, teammates, teammates. And I totally get the frustration. I'm not trying to say for a second that you should not be frustrated by trolls or feeders or bad teammates or what have you. But at the end of the day, only your own performance matters. If you are playing consistently well, if you are playing with your team consistently well, then you're going to continue winning matches. So instead of worrying about, oh my god, how am I supposed to carry these people? They're just so trolly. What you need to do instead is focus on how can I be more consistent in my gameplay? Can I work on my decision making? Can I work on my mechanics? Can I work on my champion pool? Can I work on my communication? There's so many areas that you can practice. Just put that effort in and you're going to find that you slowly advance. So at this point, looks like we've sort of turned into an ARAM. This is one of the things that bothers me in solo queue. Jax, I want to see pushing in top. Like, he can still pretty much dual Nasus, or at worst case scenario, he can usually escape Nasus. So, he needs to push this in as hard as he can. The rest of the team here, I'm fine with you keeping these three mid. You have the Nami disengage, you have the Ziggs slow sort of disengage, and you have the slow snare sort of disengage from Jinx. So, if they position properly, they should be able to handle themselves. So you send Jax top, he takes tower as he is. Warwick can either farm jungle or push bottom lane. Mid lane, all you have to do is just stall out. Siege in, push the wave. You don't have to kill anyone, you don't have to fight. So, that's essentially what they did here, and that's pretty good. But yeah, when you're grouping like this, you need to have a goal. I am pushing mid because I want my top lane to not have pressure. I want them to be able to take an objective. Or we're going to take dragon, so I need to push in for the vision. Or I'm pushing in because we're going to siege and take their inhib. You don't just go mid because, well, laning phase is over. That's where people are. Let me go kill them, right? You need to have a larger goal plan. As you can see, Ziggs going a little bit too close, gets immediately bursted down by Victor. I'll point out... Alright, so... your Q is your main harass tool, as is your auto attack. Disengage him. Like, you're letting him walk directly up to you. You take your farm, but then, like, why are you here? Are you planning to duel him? It doesn't look that way. So instead you're walking, again, up into his range, down into his range, across into his range. Either you're going to fight him, meaning you're going to stay out of his range and poke him with your Q, W, E, R, or you don't want to fight him, in which case you should be running the hell away. So that's why that fight bothered me a little bit, because as Ziggs, you need to maintain proper positioning, and unfortunately that is not happening here. You see Warwick ult come across though, Warwick picks up the kill. Warwick is very, very good at shutting down Victor. Victor does not have a way to deal with him. Ult not able to connect onto Jinx, nor does the knock-up. Jax coming across. Where is Nasus during that? There he is. Alright, so they're just gonna abuse that. Everyone has gone back. Jax, I want to see... yeah, there's already a ward here, never mind. I want to see you guys actually pushing this tower. I want to see Ziggs cutting off, sieging the jungle essentially, making sure that they can't come through. And then Jax and Jinx can just push in bot and try and set this up. Jax goes through, gets the stun onto Victor, a lot of damage coming through. Varus disengage comes across. Jinx and Ziggs all go through for the wombo combo double kill. Very, very nice. On Victor, I think you need Deathcap first. I don't like rushing Lichbane, because for Lichbane to do very much damage, you need to have a lot of AP. And while you do get a lot of AP from your Hex Core, I just don't think it's worth it. I also feel that you need your Q augment before Lichbane, so that you have the movement speed to reposition and actually land that auto attack safely. It has to be a very quick Q auto reposition trade, or you're going to be caught out and you're going to die very quickly. So I want to see Deathcap first or Hourglass first, so that you can avoid being focused down too much. The Warwick does get cancelled, but kill goes across. Beautiful knock-up coming in from Nami. Sun taken very, very low. Ziggs poking him down. Kill goes over to Nami yet again. Victor coming back across, running right past Warwick, trying to get the AoE combo. There's the Q. Is he going to be able to auto? Nope. Flashes away. He comes across onto Ziggs. Whew. So much damage from Victor. Is able to pick up the Jinx kill. Ziggs making sure that they can't follow in further. Jax, in the meantime, pushing in bot. This is exactly what I want to see. Jax is such a good split pusher because he can duel pretty much anyone at the moment. Alright, so good decision here, backing out before he gets caught out by 2. In the meantime, Ziggs and Nami rotating up towards top. Ziggs going to push this out, looks like. I want to see some focus put onto Baron at the moment. They have about a 10,000 gold advantage, and they have massive AoE potential. They have the Jinx ult, they have the Ziggs everything. They have the Nami knockups. They have so much potential in these grouped jungle skirmishes team fights that I really, really want to see them focusing Baron. In order to do that, they have one pink down here. I would like to see another pink set up behind Baron or in Baron. Either one would be a good option to make sure that they're not going to be caught out or get their Baron stolen. At that point, just take it away. Boom, you got the Warwick, he can permatank it. No real risk there, and that should be very easy to do. Instead, Dragon is spawning. Looks like Warwick has a timer on that, and he's going to go over immediately. Looks like he is, like they do notice, but no one's going to be able to stop because Jax and the rest of the team comes across. Good teamwork on blue team. I really like how they're grouping and keeping an eye on objectives. That is huge in solo queue. Just knowing when things spawn, communicating that to the team, and making sure that you can pick things up. Way too late on the Scion ult there. Not able to pick up anything. Alright, so this is a very, very dead Jinx if they land this properly. Ult goes across. I want to see you backing out a little bit as you reposition through this. That was risky. I want to see you staying out of her range as much as possible. Obviously, she can switch to rockets, but you should not be letting her just tank you with minigun. Now, this is going to be turned around as blue team has regrouped, collapsed, and that is a double kill over for them. Alright, so they're going to be able to siege this bot tower. That should be no real risk here. Victor, I want to see you saving that E, actually. You could have used it just a little later and cleared the wave instantly, but I get that like you're not going to be able to defend that. I'm fine with Teemo. He's super annoying, and that's kind of his point. I'm not able to finish off the kill. Alright, so here comes the Baron fight that I mentioned. Ziggs not quite there yet, but should be able to regroup in time. Jax actually tanking this. I would let Warwick tank it because he has so much lifesteal. There's the sweeper coming across. Again, why are you not letting Warwick tank this? Warwick, you need to move in, and all of you need to be repositioned between each fight. These green blobs underneath your feet? Really? Okay. So 3 mistakes here. Mistake number 1, you're letting Jax tank. Jax is not nearly as tanky, nor does he have as much lifesteal as Warwick. So Warwick, stand next to Baron. The closest target takes damage. These green blobs under your feet are going to erupt, they're going to knock you up, they're going to deal a lot more damage. So, Warwick needs to be kiting around between each auto attack, moving around in a circle. Second issue, he misses, well, sorry, third issue, he misses his smite. Boom! His E from him picks up the Baron. Very nice, but that should not have been in any way possible. I totally understand that you're not really worried about a team fight happening, but that's no excuse for mismanaging the Baron aggro. Oh, apparently he used the wrong key. Even with Baron, though, I don't see Purple Team really being able to do too much here. Re-engage comes across, not able to finish the kill, but a hell of a lot of damage onto Jax. He's just going to try and lifesteal and split push. Yeah, that's probably the best course of action. Warwick actually split pushing up top. So these three are going to have to play very, very close and avoid any engage if they can. The Scion plus Varus engage take out Jinx almost immediately. This is a beautiful re-engage, but as we can see, Scion is not landing any of his Qs, and that's a huge issue for them. Not having Victor really complicates this as well because he is most of their AoE burst damage. No, I didn't feel that because you missed it. God, Scion. Alright, knock-up lands across all three. That was actually very, very nicely done. Instead of the knockback, I wanted to see Ziggs Q auto W. He would have been able to pop at least Braum, and the knock-up still would have gone through, stalling them hopefully long enough for Warwick to get in range for his ult. There's the Nasus. Knock-up goes across, Warwick ult goes across, Warwick receives the kill. Nice work. Alright, Scion now getting caught out. There is a lot of wards here. Nope, Scion is not going to die this time, though. Is there another workshop after this? If we have enough people willing to play, yes. You need to be in the chat rooms, guys, if you want to play. We need more people willing to play in them. So make sure that you're joining. If you don't know what the chat room names are, use the workshop command. It will give you all of the information on what the workshops are, how to join, and all that good stuff. Oh, pogo stick Jinx. What do you recommend Nasus builds against a Jax? Iceborne Gauntlet, Randuin's, then Spirit Visage. Sunfire's okay, but I think Randuin's might be better here, because you're going to be able to jump onto Jinx and Randuin's. That being said, the buff for Randuin's hasn't gone live yet, so I would kind of wait on that. What are you twin shadowing here? I get that you want a ward, but if you're going to use Twin Shadows, it's usually as an engage or a scouting tool for your team. There wasn't anything going across here. You had no allies to follow that up. So, a little questionable there. Why Iceborne Gauntlet? Shouldn't you rush Frozen Heart to reduce Jax's passive? Either is a good option, yes. Again, I don't play any top laners, so whatever I say is going to be a little awkward. Jinx ult, Ziggs ult, both missing the Scion. Not going to happen here. Frost Queen's claim comes across from Nami, disengages the fight. Jinx just slowing them, making sure that they cannot keep chasing. Alright, here comes the Scion ult. No one is in range, dude. You don't have anyone here. I appreciate the Scion ults, but dude, you're not in a position to fight this. You just lost the game, I think. So I'm going to point out two issues here. Issue number one. Oh, obviously, yeah, there's that, but we're going to skip that. Alright, so, Nasus is teleporting away. If Nasus was staying, you could do this engage. Maybe. It would be doable, right? But you see Nasus is teleporting away. He's finished teleporting, and then you ult. All you have is your AD carry. AD carry is not in position, so I don't like this engage, but knowing that it has gone down, Varus needs to work on his reaction time and make sure that he gets there in time. The flash comes across from Braum. Ult comes across to make sure that they get locked up in place, making sure that they do get the extra damage across. But as you can see, Varus does not have ult because it was already used, and Nami's just going to disengage. So, this would be a great fight if you had Victor here. Just not worth it. You need to keep an eye on what's going on. I'm not against that engage. It's just you have to have a team there if you're going to do it. So, Scion, good mechanics, poor decision making. Alright, Nasa's going super ballsy deep. Victor, very, very low right now, gets taken down by the Jinx rocket. Fishy, just helping kite as much as possible. Cyan trying to come through, does not have ult though, because that was already used. Dude, what are you queuing for? No one's there. So now you're 2v5, well, 1.5 versus 5. Not gonna happen. Alright, so I would expect that to be the game. They just follow through, get the inhib. Honestly, you could just siege this and end. Victor's down. Yeah, looks like they're gonna go top instead. Not a bad decision. Hey, there's 0-1. How's it going? Warwick ult comes across yet again. Nice triple knockout from Sion. Is he going to land the kill? He does. He lands the kill just in time. His passive comes across, but is it going to be enough? I strongly, strongly doubt that. He's not going to be able to do anything here. In the meantime, Jinx gets bot tower and gets the bot inhib. Great distraction top. But yeah, I'm very doubtful and questioning of purple team's engages right now. They're just boiling down to like, hey, that was a good engage, but your team isn't here, so what the fuck are you doing? So they definitely need to work on that. Just a little bit more awareness, maybe a little bit more communication. Hard to say without being in the game how much they are or are not chatting. Jinx comes across, picks up the kill for herself. Nice work. Why am I not an announcer at the LoL Championships? I'm not a very good chatcaster. I do this out of necessity to help you guys. It's not something I'm really good at. Alright, so Baron has respawned. Looks like purple team is... No, I thought that was the purple team ping. Never mind. Blue team pinging it, trying to set this up. In order to do this, though, yeah, they got pink ward, pink ward. Lots and lots of vision. I really like to see that. Ziggs lands the knock up. Warwick just slowing as much as he can. There's the ult. Ult's a little unnecessary there. You had the kill regardless, but who cares? You got a nice, tasty Braum sandwich. Alright, let's see if Nasus can steal another. Alright, same thing as before. Make sure that Warwick's tanking this. It just bothers me when they don't. Alright, so Sion trying to go for the steal. Nasus is here, no one else. So you're 2v5ing and going on Baron. Not gonna work. Jinx coming in. Nope, not gonna land the traps. Sion just 1v5ing here. Oh, not gonna happen. I like them pulling off of Baron long enough so that there was no possible steal. That being said, watch out for the Sion passive. It does a hell of a lot of damage here. So make sure that you're not going to miss your smite. There it is. You didn't smite! Warwick, what are you doing, buddy? Oh my lord. Okay, so that's the second time now that he's not smited Baron. I don't know what's going on, but you work on that, definitely. Like, they didn't get it stolen this time, but come on, dude. Is this ranked workshops? Yes, it is. This is the first ranked workshop. We'll be doing more at the end of this, assuming we have enough people interested. It didn't show him using the smite at all. Alright. Decent damage coming across in Victor. He has his hourglass finished. Looks like death cap should be done soon. Warwick comes across. Boom, that is a dead Victor. As I mentioned earlier, as a Victor, you do not have a way to deal with Warwick, because if you're dropping your W to try and slow or stun him, he can jump over it with his ult, like similar ranges, and he sustains too much for you to burst. Like, it's messy. It's really, really messy. I had Sign targeted? My bad. Lot of burst damage coming across. There's a double. Is he going to get the triple? Should be able to. Walks into the queue. Nami gets it. Oh, Nami. Alright, so yes, as I mentioned, I did have someone mistargeted. I apologize for that. But he still missed his smite, and that's what bothers me here. Alright, so there we go. Good game, everyone. Apparently there was some negative attitude from Victor. Make sure that you are screenshotting any negative behavior so that we can get these people banned. You are not allowed to rage or verbally abuse or anything like that. Again, I can't say from my side if that is true or not. But again, if you have hard proof, if it's really bad, definitely send us those screenshots. Okay, so let's go over final builds. Maybe a couple things that could have been done better, and then we're going to move on to the next game. If you want to play in the next game, make sure you're in the proper chat rooms. P4N mid, P4N top, P4N ADC, P4N support, and P4N jungle. Lots and lots of fun. Alright, so Jinx. Pretty much exactly what you would expect. Infinity Edge into Bloodthirster, Last Whisper, Phantom Dancer, all the good stuff. I don't know exactly what order she built it in. I would expect to see Infinity Edge, Vamp Scepter, not complaining Bloodthirster, then Phantom Dancer, then Last Whisper, then Bloodthirster. That's what I would probably say would be the most consistent, but she was far enough ahead that it didn't really matter that much. Jax, really standard build here. A little bit more damage, though, than we would expect. Usually you would not build a Last Whisper from what I've seen, and you would instead go something like a Banshee's Veil or something with a little bit of extra tankiness. Ziggs, Athene's, Deathcap, Lichbane. I would like to see Void Staff before Lichbane. Lichbane is a luxury item on Ziggs, whereas Void Staff is a requirement. If you look at the enemy team, there's a lot of magic resist on Varus, Nasus, and yeah, that's it. But like, there's two champions that have significant magic resist, and you're an AoE team fight focused champion, so that Void Staff would have done a lot for you. You did fine though, good job. I also would have liked to see an Hourglass. I probably would have gone Athene's, Deathcap, Void Staff, Hourglass, then Lichbane. Like, Lichbane is such a low priority on Ziggs, but to each their own. Nami actually went towards a lot of AP. I like the Crucible. I love Twin Shadows on Nami. I like Frost Queen's Claim on Nami, but this is a luxury, right? I'm assuming she was building it just because she was so far ahead. So, to each their own. I'm not sure if he was building that into Deathcap or Hourglass or DFG or something. I don't even know. But personally, I would probably gone into Hourglass if I already had the needlessly large rod, just because Hourglass is so good at baiting things, and the armor would have been quite nice. If you wanted more utility, a Locket would have been very, very good in this team comp, because you do have the Victor AoE, you have the Nasus AoE, you have the Varus AoE, you have the Scion AoE. Like, everyone on the enemy team has a significant amount of their damage being AoE. Warwick. Yeah, damage, tank. He did really, really well, so good job to him. Yeah, builds exactly what you would expect for a Warwick that was ahead versus this sort of team comp. Varus never did get his lifesteal. That really did hurt him. I would have expected probably Blade of the Ruin King for his lifesteal, because you are focused on getting those extra auto attacks in and dueling people. But he also, like Bloodthirster, the shield on it wouldn't be anything to sneeze at either. That's personal preference, to each their own. Looks like he was going towards Guardian Angel instead. I think a well-played, well-positioned Varus, lifesteal is going to be a little bit safer than the Guardian Angel. Nasus, I had a lot of complaints with his starting build going Doran's Blade. Don't do that. Either go Cloth Armor or Doran's Shield or Flask in very, very certain situations. Your job as Nasus is to freeze the wave, farm, and survive. That did not happen, but you did scale pretty well into the late game. So you did a good job in like just remaining relevant, but that could have been so much easier for you. Work on your wave management, make sure you can freeze the wave properly, work on your starting builds, work on your decision making with like how aggressive you're playing, how you're positioning in these fights. That's definitely something you'll want to work on. Same to Varus, he was a little bit too aggressive versus the matchup he was in. Definitely work on knowing your matchups, knowing your damage potential, and just making sure that you're not going to be baited out like that. Because there was a lot of times where I saw you trading, I was just like, dude, you're losing a trade to Jinx Nami, and then Nami's going to sustain through. Not going to work that well. Victor, I didn't like the Lichbane rush. I would have gone E-Augment, Deathcap, then Hourglass, then Lichbane. I like that you did finish up your Hourglass, but Lichbane I only do after my Q Augment because you need the move speed to really abuse it, and I don't build it until after my Deathcap because you need the AP to abuse it. So I think your build was a little bit sloppy. I also think that you could have had more influence on the outcome of that game by roaming around, maybe clearing some jungle camps, maybe even just instead of just perma-pushing, dueling Ziggs constantly and making sure to shut him down. I think that could have gone just a little bit better. Scion, you had some really good combos, but your decision making was way off. I really want to see you work on that in terms of when to gank, what fights are going to work out for your team. That was your main weakness. Also, I don't think Black Cleaver is that good on Scion. If you're going to go an AD item, why wouldn't you go something with lifesteal to drain tank better? The most successful builds I've seen on Scion are 100% full tank. So like Randuin's, Warmogs, Sunfire, Banshee's Veil, like just full tank. and I've seen it be pretty damn scary. In terms of Braum, didn't really get too many items finished on him. His build's fine from what I see. The CDR boots are a little odd, but if you need more wards, sorry, not more wards, more alts, more stuns, it wouldn't be the worst choice ever. I think it would have been better to go for a Moby boots and try and roam around to help your team. We just didn't see that happening. I would have liked to see Braum ganking because his ults are pretty damn good for that. But what can you say, right? The build is what it is, and the items he actually had on him are quite good on that champion. So overall, great job, everyone. Thank you so much for playing in the workshops. We're going to be starting up another match now. So if you would like to play in the workshops, join the proper chat rooms, P4N mid, P4N